Now, on the budget side of things, a few questions have been raised. You know, I was hoping we could possibly get together a work study and just, you know, short time to talk about it, if everybody's okay with that.
I'd like to say something about the work study. Bob, Jenna gave you that budget a month ago.
And I've reviewed it.
And a month is plenty of time. Now, you're saying a work study. Let's talk to the rest of the council. Do you all have any whims with the budget at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you do? How many do? Let's take a vote. You got 4 and...
Poll.
A poll. And what about the other 4? 4, do you have a problem? What's the other 4 saying? Do you have a problem?
It's not a problem, it's questions. It's not a problem.
Well, you've had a month that all you had to do was come in and talk to Bob or to Renee to straighten out any question you had. You didn't see fit to do that.
No, that's not true. No, I have had questions, and I've talked to certain people about questions, but they brought up other questions that need to be addressed. What's the harm in everybody getting together and having a work study to talk this out? Is that a waste of time?
You've got enough. You've had enough time.
Well, it says yourself.
The budget has to come up.
A fiscal one-year budget is an important situation to look over, not just by one person.
No one person. All of you got it. And you've had it for a month.
And 4 of us have questions and are asking for a work study.
Why didn't you come in and ask Bob?
Because it takes more than a month, and that's enough of an answer.
We're talking about a municipal budget.
Period.
This isn't to say anybody's doing a bad job or a wrong job.
These are just questions to think about it, talk about.
Bob knows. I've talked to him a few times.
Have you had any questions from him?
I've had no questions.
Not specific questions.
No, and that was my intent. That's the reason why I prepared it so early. This is the earliest I've ever prepared it.
Right.
Because I knew there was a new faction coming on.
And I appreciate that.
And I wanted everybody to see it beforehand.
And in my, again, it's been great. You know, I appreciate you getting, I told you that. To dissect that within my first month of being here is a little more difficult. So that's why I need some clarification from people that have been on the council for some time, or from the administrator, from the mayor, or the attorney. So there's some questions. It's nothing, you know, negative. It's just questions. That's all. So for everybody to point, you know.
And I think everybody needs to hear what the questions are, because our concerns might be important enough that you guys think, whoa, you know, that does make sense.
Is there a reason we would not want to spend a little extra time if half the council believes so?
Spend extra time with it. You've got to do this expeditiously.
Sure.
I agree.
Because
is there a reason we can't do both?
We only have 18 days. So you're going to need to do your work study. You're going to have to set up a special session.
Well, actually, I was thinking, you know, the 1st of June is on a Saturday, and the 2nd is on a Sunday, where there's not going to be any work going on. We could actually have a special council meeting after the committee meetings on the 3rd, because there isn't going to be any business going on those 2 days because it's the weekend.
You're not going to pay anybody with the approved budget, without a budget?
They're not going to be doing any work on those 2 days.
You got standby people that you have to pay.
But by ordinance, your budget starts
so
June 1.
That's right.
I realize that. But we could go as far as the 31st and have a special session. I think it's necessary to have a work study so we can go over the questions that we have, and the others can hear the questions that we have.
It's not a fine-tooth comb. We're not digging through every little, because,
Yeah.
Bob, first of all, my preliminary looks were great. I mean, there was a lot of good,
I
you did a great
understand
job.
that, Sal, and I have no opposition to
If
it.
you have questions, why don't you ask them now?
Is that something we could do? I mean, if we want to take the extra time now, can we address them now?
We
or do
can.
we
I
need...
mean, there's, I don't.
Yeah,
have the
you
things
said you had
prepared.
questions? Let's
Yeah,
get them.
I don't have my questions
Yeah,
with me.
I don't have the
because I figured
specific
we'd have a
numbers.
work study.
Yeah. I'm still learning how this thing works, so I assume that having a work study would be prepared to have. I mean, it's up to the council. I mean, if
That
everybody
is
wants
true.
to do it now.
Is it possible to have a work study and then have
A full council meeting.
Right afterwards and be done.
Right
We've
after.
done that before.
I know we've had a lot of those, and it's a pain in the rear end, but
It is.
I know, and I don't want it. It's a pain, I know, but coming
It's
on to this thing,
necessary.
I want to do my due diligence as well, and I want to be a part of it in that way. It's hard to do when you're just coming on again, my preliminary things I've looked at, he did a great job. You know, there's just a few little questions. So,
Your ordinance seems to contemplate that this will be done in May, 1/30/030. It shall
I
be-
would prefer it in May for sure.
It shall be the duty of the city council at the May meeting or adjourned session to enact an ordinance appropriating funds for the operations of various departments of the city government for the year ending May 31.
Does anybody have an issue with next week? Anybody out of town or anything of that nature?
What date?
A Monday or Tuesday would be great for me.
I had no problem.
Everybody
We have
okay
a
with that?
CID Tuesday, so that'd be Monday.
Monday the 20th?
That works for me.
That be okay with everybody?
At
5:30? And again, it doesn't have to be this long drawn out process, just we'll have our questions ready to rock and roll, and then we can go from there.
And what I would
You'll have
ask
to,
is that rather than hit me cold turkey with
That's
them,
good, that's good.
Great.
please forward them to me in advance
That's
so
good.
I can address them.
That's good. And then we can have a full council meeting after that, I assume? Again, I don't know how this works, but to vote on the budget, or should we wait?
You'll have to get somebody to sign it. Three of
Okay.
you there can sign it.
Yeah, somebody will have to make a motion.
Okay.
What is Monday?
The 20th.
20th.
So you want to do,
I think if we get all of our questions answered by Bob, I see no reason why we can't go ahead and get past and
Say-
not take any more time.
say 6:30?
5:30 on the 20th?
5:30 on the 20th.
Thank you.
And do 6:30?
Yeah, I think we can knock down an hour easily.
Or immediately following.
You just
Or
immediately.
immediately following?
We don't need to wait.
Sharon,
I'll make a motion. Well, I'm not on, I'm not on, sorry.
Well, I have to make that motion in full council, right?
To bring it to full council. I can't do it on finance. I'm not on finance.
In full council, we can make a motion for this work study.
Under the
And-
finance.
Right, so we just need to bring this up in full council.